Imagine millions of gigabytes of data. We're talking the kind of massive, mind-boggling scale that companies like Netflix or Yahoo are dealing with every single day, all of it flowing continuously across thousands of machines. So how does a system actually find one single file in that giant digital ocean and do it almost instantly? Or better yet, how does it write new data without losing a single drop, even if a server literally catches on fire? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we are going under the hood of the Hadoop Distributed File System, or HDFS, to see exactly how data moves, survives, and scales.
Here is our game plan for today. We'll start with a quick architecture recap, dive right into the high-speed read journey, construct the right pipeline, see how the system handles spectacular failures, and then wrap up with the consistency model that makes all this big data magic possible. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, Architecture Recap. To really grasp how data flows here, just keep this one simple analogy in mind. The NameNode, that's our air traffic controller, and the thousands of data nodes, those are our massive storage warehouses.
Moving right along to Section 2, the read journey. Let's trace our very first data mission.
Okay, so when your application wants to read a file, it doesn't just wander aimlessly around those giant warehouses looking for it. Instead, the HDFS client steps up. It fires off an open file RPC request. That's a remote procedure call straight to our air traffic controller, the NameNode. It's essentially asking, hey, where are the exact blocks for this specific file?
Now, the NameNode is smart. It doesn't just hand over a random map. It grabs the locations for the first few blocks and actually sorts the data nodes by their physical network proximity to the client. The HDFS client then immediately connects to the absolute closest node on that list. It sends over the block ID and the data length, and the data node just starts streaming the data directly back to the client. Notice how it completely bypasses the NameNode for the actual data transfer? That is absolutely crucial for preventing traffic jams.
But wait, in a cluster of thousands of machines, what happens if there's a hiccup, like an information mismatch during this high-speed read? Well, as the client receives these data packets, it's constantly verifying them. If it detects a corruption, no big deal. It flags the error, alerts the NameNode, and seamlessly pivots to the next closest data node on the list to grab a healthy replica. It literally doesn't skip a beat.
Okay, Section 3, the right pipeline. Building data safe.
Writing new data is a whole different beast. It is a massive, highly coordinated construction project. When you create a file, the client gets permission from the NameNode and starts buffering your incoming data. It then splits this data into two distinct high-speed lanes. You've got a data queue and an acknowledgment, or ACK queue. This dual queue setup is the secret engine driving the entire write operation.
But before the data actually flows, the NameNode grants a write lease and assigns a specific list of data nodes. This is based on the replication factor. Usually, this is set to 3, meaning the block absolutely must be copied to 3 separate locations to be considered safe. These chosen nodes dynamically link up, forming this glowing, high-speed data pipeline.
Watch how beautifully this unfolds. The HDFS client takes the data block, splits it into fixed-size packets, and drops them into the data queue. It fires the very first packet to data node 1. Node 1 stores it, but instantly shoots a copy down the pipeline to data node 2. Node 2 saves it, fires it to node 3. And once node 3 has it securely, it sends an acknowledgement backward to node 2, node 2 acts node 1, and node 1 finally acts the client. So the data flows forward while the acknowledgements echo in reverse.
So remember that ACK queue we just talked about? As those packets rush down the pipeline, they are waiting in the ACK queue for that reverse echo. A packet is only removed once it has been acknowledged by every single data node in that chain. And when the queue is finally empty, the client fires a write complete RPC to the NameNode. The NameNode verifies the minimum replicas exist and permanently commits that block to its edit log. Done.
Moving to Section 4, Failure Recovery. This is where things get really interesting.
I mean, it's a beautifully designed system, right up until a hard drive crashes or a power supply blows. Picture this. The pipeline is running at maximum capacity. Packets are flying everywhere, and suddenly, boom, a data node right in the middle just dies. The client stops receiving acknowledgments. The ACK queue is instantly jammed with unconfirmed packets. How on earth does HDFS prevent catastrophic data loss in that exact millisecond?
Well, HDFS doesn't panic. It triggers an instant failsafe. The client immediately hits pause and dumps all those unconfirmed packets from the ACK queue right back into the data queue, so absolutely nothing is lost.
It completely ignores the dead node, establishes a brand new pipeline with the surviving nodes, and here's the clever part, it gives the block a completely new identity. That way, if that dead server ever miraculously wakes up, the system recognizes its partially written block as obsolete junk and just deletes it. Finally, the NameNode silently spins up a new replica in the background to bring the cluster back to full health.
And the whole cluster knows exactly when to jump into recovery mode because the data nodes are constantly phoning home. They send these periodic block reports to the NameNode, detailing their exact inventory. If a report goes missing, or if it reveals some under-replication, the NameNode spots it immediately and launches those self-healing operations. Finally, Section 5, the HDFS consistency model, the philosophy behind all of this.
This is the core shift in thinking. Traditional database systems, they demand incredibly strict transaction rules. They allow you to jump around and make these surgical random writes. But HDFS throws random edits out the window in favor of an append-focused design. Think of it less like carefully editing a Word document and a lot more like dropping items onto an unstoppable conveyor belt that's engineered for massive, massive scale.
In fact, our sources put it perfectly. Big data processing applications mainly append operations to the file at the end, rather than including random writes into the file. By forcing new data to just be added to the end, rather than dealing with complex edits in the middle, HDFS dramatically simplifies the data flow. This exact rule is what makes those high-speed data pipelines, the reverse acknowledgments, and the lightning-fast failure recoveries even possible. It trades surgical precision for raw, unstoppable throughput. From the NameNode orchestrating the traffic, to the closest data nodes streaming the bits, to those robust pipelines echoing acknowledgments backward, HDFS literally transforms a chaotic sea, fragile, breakable servers into an unbreakable data fortress. So, the next time you hear about petabytes of data being analyzed in mere seconds, how does knowing about this invisible, self-healing pipeline change the way you view massive data storage? Thanks so much for joining this explainer. Keep learning, and we'll catch you in the next one.